Good morning, 10 a.m., October 4th, 2022, City of Pasadena, Texas, council meeting. It's called to order. Invocation will be by Jenny Wagner. Pledge of allegiance will be by member Phil Caton. If everyone would please stand. Ms. Wagner, if you'll step to the microphone.
Good morning. Can you bow with me for prayer? Dear most gracious Heavenly Father, please bless this council with the wisdom to seek your guidance to make the best decisions for our city as they have their meeting today and always. Please protect our employees, all of the city employees, as well as all of their families from harm and for their health. We ask this in your precious Son, Jesus Christ, holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledging to our flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Mr. Caton.
Thank you, Mayor. I pass.
Mr. Bass.
Good morning. It looks like we have some presentations about 55 years, if I do that right. 30 and a 25. Congratulations to those folks. And I would say the celebrities in the audience, you know who you are, so if you want to stand up and be recognized, you can. If not, be silent. Nobody wants to stand up? Okay, with that, I pass.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Saintbine.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our council meeting this morning. I'd like to congratulate our Pasadena Livestock Show and Rodeo folks for putting on a tremendous event out at the Convention Center this past week. Many students benefited from the scholarship money, and it will help them grow into future leaders within our communities. Also, too, some special things are happening this month. Pink is for breast cancer awareness, and purple is for domestic violence awareness as well. And our chamber and the bridge are helping get those messages out throughout the community. And please say a prayer for folks that are experiencing domestic violence, that they'll seek help in a professional manner and reach out so that they can receive that help. And also, too, for people with cancer, we need to be praying for a cure for that. There's many opportunities to donate to great organizations with these programs this month. So with that, I pass.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Barr.
I just want to thank Richard Wiley, 30 years of service at the City Marshal's office, and Sandra Varela with 25 years, Sandra, the senior center at Madison Joe. Thank you for your service. That I'll pass.
Councilwoman Valerio.
Thank you, Mayor. Pass.
Councilman Harrison.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to recognize my friend, the commander of the American Legion. I went by there Saturday night and visited with my veteran friends, and they got a great organization over there. They do a lot of community events, and all the veterans, we need to say thank you for their sacrifice for the country. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Ms. Van Hout.
I'm going to talk about something that I would rather not talk about, but sometimes when you have a place to speak, there's a responsibility to use it. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. 1 in 8 women will get breast cancer. Last October, I learned that I was one of them. I always thought that I was not at risk because there was no family history of breast cancer until earlier last year. And heck, there's not that much there. I figured there wasn't any place for anything to develop or hide. It turns out size does not make a difference. I had other risk factors that I didn't know about. And because I thought that I wasn't at risk, I hadn't had a mammogram. So I didn't know about it until I felt a lump. Get a mammogram. It squishes, but it's not that bad. If you have a problem, the sooner you find out, the more options you have for how to treat it. City employees, there will be a couple mobile units at the library 2 weeks from now. Make an appointment, get a mammogram. My cancer is gone now.
Amen.
I have been representing my district and serving the city throughout treatment, and I will continue to do so. We've got a lot going on the next 2 weeks. Tomorrow, Wednesday, October 5th, is Coffee with a Cup at McDonald's at Fairmount and Preston. That's from 8 to 10 a.m. If you have questions or complaints, or you think hanging out with the cops is cool, or you want to pet JJ, show up. Now, I don't know about JJ. He may be sleeping in late because he's got to go to a lot of neighborhood night out events tonight. Saturday, October 8th is the Pasadena Fire Festival from 10 to 4 at Strawberry Park. You can get a lot of good information about safety and their activities for children. Monday, October 10th is the deadline for voter registration for the November election. If your address has changed, be sure you get that corrected on your voter registration so that you're voting for the people who represent where you live. Music and movie in the park, Saturday, October 15th from 5:30 to 10 at Strawberry Park. The movie is Sing 2. They will have the Pasadena Philharmonic Orchestra, the Dobie High School Orchestra, and presumably the movie will start when it gets dark, so time it how you wish. On the ballot this November will be $1.2 billion in Harris County bond propositions. Most of these are for transportation. Monday, October 17th, there will be a public meeting to get information about the bonds at Baker Ripley, 720 Fairmont at 6 p.m.
Thank you. Mr. Estrada.
Thank you, Mayor. I would also like to thank our service award recipients, Mr. Wiley and Ms. Varela, for their service to our city, and remind folks that tonight's National Night Out, so find your neighborhood National Night Out events. And with that, I pass. Thank you, Mayor.
Oh, you bet. Okay, brings us to citizens. Olivia Rivers. There you are.
Good morning to Mayor Wagner and all the council members who serve the great city of Pasadena. My name is Q Olivia Rivers, and I serve as the CEO for the Bridge Over Troubled Waters here in the city, and I'm so appreciative of the space given to address the council. As many of you know, and as has already been shared, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, a time of the year in which we remember the lives lost due to intimate partner violence, and we honor also survivors who are still among us, uplifting their voices of pain and their stories of courage. I want to take a moment to thank the mayor's office, the council, and the entire city of Pasadena for their commitment to ending and preventing domestic violence in our community. The Bridge has served as a safe space for over 40 years, and we're so honored to be able to serve and support every survivor who walks through our doors. And of course, we would not be able to do this work without our amazing partners and friends at the Pasadena Police Department. Chief Brugger leads an incredible team of investigators and law enforcement officers who believe in victim safety and offender accountability. And we're honored to serve alongside them on the Domestic Violence High Risk Team, which just got a Purple Ribbon Award last month. So in solidarity with our national and local partners, the theme for this year's Domestic Violence Awareness Month is Everyone Knows Someone, and we certainly believe that is true. Last year, 204 Texans were killed by their partners, 46 of those being here in Harris County. This number included 169 women and 35 men, and 22 family members, friends, and bystanders were also killed, with 11 of those victims being children. Almost half of these victims had taken the first steps to end their relationship and end the cycle of violence. I don't share these statistics to depress us or cause sadness, but to raise awareness and remind us of the importance to stay vigilant, support funding, and offer resources. At the Bridge, we seek to remove the stigma and shame centered around abuse and bring it to light, because we know that it is only through community collaboration that we can truly end this epidemic that impacts over 10 million people in this country. So we have a call to action for you all. If we're able to, we invite you all to paint Pasadena purple this month and every October. We would like to present each of our council members and our mayor with purple ties and scarves, if we can pass those out to you all. Additionally, we invite you to our press conference on Thursday at 9 a.m. at the Pasadena Police Community Room, where county leaders will stand together. 10 a.m., JK, 10 a.m. At the Pasadena Police Community Room, where county leaders will stand together to speak out against domestic violence. We hope you all can join us. But if not, we do encourage you to think of the lives lost and the lives saved. When you put on your purple scarf or tie this month, view it as a symbol of peace, courage, and honor. And remember the resilience of the incredible survivors at the Bridge Over Troubled Waters and all over this country who live to see another day. Thank you again for your time and your support.
Thank you so much. Ms. Womack.
Mayor, City Council members, the Pasadena Chamber serves as the voice for business, and we work to inform our businesses about policies that negatively impact their business. We're currently preparing our white paper for the 2023 Texas legislative session, and this afternoon we'll be hosting a member of the Greater Houston Partnerships team to come educate businesses on those potential policies coming. So if you're interested in learning more about these policies or other local policies that could potentially impact your business, we invite you to join for our Government Relations Committee meetings. This afternoon we'll be meeting at 3:30 at Baker Ripley. If you are also interested in other information about chamber membership, you can come to our next Membership 101, October 13th from 8:30 to 9:30 at the Pasadena, newly renovated Pasadena Chamber of Commerce office. The fall also brings about many opportunities to reflect on things that we have to be grateful for. It's also an opportunity in our community where there are many ways to serve and volunteer and give back. And so I want to share a couple of those opportunities. Taste of the Town is our largest fundraiser of the year, and so we invite you to come enjoy the event by supporting local businesses and sampling some of Pasadena's finest restaurants. There's also volunteer opportunities open to anyone that wants to serve and give back. You can sign up online at the Pasadena Chamber website. We also, in November, have our Texas Invitational basketball tournament. That's a partnership between the Pasadena Education Foundation and the Deer Park Education Foundation, and is an economic driver bringing in hundreds of people to our community. It takes about 400 volunteers to make that tournament happen. The Chamber serves as the volunteer coordinator to bring those volunteers for the tournament. So you can sign up to volunteer for a shift at texasinvitational.com. And then also in partnership with our friends, we want to promote the city's efforts for the Can Do Food Drive that brings in food collections to food pantries right here in Pasadena. And so there's also opportunities to serve there. So there's no shortage of ways to get involved and to give back in our community that we serve. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Jeter.
Good morning, Council. First, I want to report back that I'm getting reports from my constituents that those encampments I brought up last meeting were promptly cleaned up within a day or two, so I appreciate the city's rapid response to that. I've also had some other positive interactions with officers and feedback from them regarding prior comments to council, and I really appreciate it when our officers come up and say things like that. And this is one I just happened to notice on the way here, but if you look out the window down the road, there's a sign for the library that has some anti-officer graffiti and some expletives on it. We might want to get that cleaned up real quick. And then lastly, I encourage council and citizens to participate in National Night Out this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Patty Green.
Good morning. My name is Patty Ream. My husband and I have lived in our home in Fairmont Estates for 44 years. We have children and grandchildren growing up here in Pasadena. We're here today in support of Steve Alvarez, his wife, his 2 young daughters, and his mother who has dementia. We're actually appealing to you, not only as our elected officials, but we appeal to you as caring humans. who will listen objectively and then work to find a fair and compassionate solution. Steve's house is located diagonally across the street from ours. He has a 3-bedroom home, and all he wanted to do was make a safe handicap room for his mother with dementia and to give each of his daughters a room of their own. So he went to the city and received the required permits, and he got that on November 22nd of 2019. It's been almost 3 years, and he's built a beautiful place with a downstairs handicap space for his mother and an upstairs for a caregiver. During these 3 years, I feel like the city has been wasting our taxpayers' dollars. They gave Steve a permit and then stopped him from building in January of 2020, and then they stopped him again in May of 2021. The city lawyers and neighbors Ralph Morrissey and Robbie Lowe then got together and took him to court. They've had Zoom meetings and a court date in July of 2022. The judge ruled in Steve's favor. However, Ralph Morrissey and the city have disregarded the judge's ruling and have already filed a second suit against Steve. In the first suit, Ralph Morrissey and Robbie Lowe asked to be awarded a judgment against Steve, and they had a list of 19 complaints. Just 3 of them are, number 1, loss of use of their houses, number 2, stigma damages to their houses, and number 3, past and future mental anguish. Seriously, this makes no sense. There are already 2-story homes in our neighborhood. In the neighborhood right next to ours, there's multiple 2-story homes and several homes with detached garages that have living spaces above them. So please just think about it, consider it. Just think if a news station picked this story up, how would people see Pasadena and its leaders? Are we going to show that Pasadena is a diverse city with leaders that really care and will work together with us as citizens and find a fair and compassionate solution? Finally, I ask that you not make this family tear down this beautiful building that he's built for his mother. So please come up with a logical, sensible, compassionate solution for both our city and for we the people. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, presentation of awards. Ms. HR Director, would you step up, please?
Good morning, Mayor and Council. It's my pleasure today to recognize Sandra Varela for her lengthy service to the city of Pasadena. Sandra is receiving a gold ring for having 25 years of service, and she's been with Madison Job Senior Center. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate that. Okay, presentation of the minutes, September 20th, 2022, 6 p.m. Motion Ibarra, second by Harrison. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Brings us down to progress payments. Motion Shanebine, second Bass. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Excuse me. Finance resolutions. Motion Estrada, second by Shanebine. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Personnel changes A. Motion Caton. Second Estrada. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Madam Secretary, brings us down to final readings.
Ordinance 2022-074, Ordinance 2022-167, Ordinance 2022-168.
Motion Ibarra. Second by Shanebine. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
On item 074, this is a contract with Tetra Tech for design services, drainage mitigation. It's working with the FEMA money. This was first on the agenda back in May, and it did not come back for a second reading because they were still trying to hash stuff out with FEMA. They've finished that. It's going on back for the second reading, but because it's gone from May to October, we can't keep the same schedule that was in here, so this needs an amendment to take the schedule out. So I move to amend Ordinance 2022-074 on final reading as follows. Certification of funds form, update Section 4, time for performance to the following. The grant implementation is under discussion with FEMA. Based on the outcome of that discussion, the start date and deliverable date will be determined. It is to be expected that the work will take approximately 12 months to complete.
We have a second by Valerio. Any questions on that? All in favor with the amendment? Yes, sir.
The minute that you presented, I know nothing about it. I don't know what the minute means, and something this important to amend it right on council without some discussion or research, I can't support it.
Absolutely.
And I pass.
Thank you, sir. Okay, on the amendment, all in favor? Any noes?
No.
One, okay. Amendment passes. Now, voting on all the rest of the final readings. All in favor? Any opposed? Passes. Madam Secretary, brings us down to first readings.
Ordinance 2022-169, authorizing and accepting a grant award from the State of Texas Office of the Attorney General, Victim Coordinator and Liaison Grant Program in the amount of $43,632. This is a continuation, year 2 of 2 of the Pasadena Police Department Crime Victim Liaison Program grant previously authorized under City of Pasadena Ordinance 2021-157. Ordinance 2022-170, authorizing and approving an agreement by and between the City of Pasadena, Texas, and LJA Engineering Incorporated for Phase 1 MS4 permit compliance assistance for a total appropriation of $180,000. Ordinance 2022-171, authorizing and approving an agreement by and between the City of Pasadena, Texas, and LJA Engineering Incorporated for regulatory compliance, grant assistance, and related services for a total appropriation of $190,400. Ordinance 2022-172, authorizing and approving an agreement by and between the City of Pasadena, Texas, and LJA Engineering Incorporated for assistance related in the FEMA Community Rating System Program and assistance with flood control complaints and development permit inspections for the City of Pasadena for a total appropriation of $80,000. Ordinance 2022-173, authorizing and approving an agreement by and between the City of Pasadena, Texas, and LJA Engineering Incorporated for assistance with Harris County regulations and compliance requirements for the City of Pasadena for a total appropriation of $40,000. Ordinance 2022-174, authorizing and approving annual consulting agreement by and between the City of Pasadena, Texas, and Gallagher Benefit Services Incorporated for consulting services for the period of January 1, 2023 to December 31st, 2023 for a total of $126,000, appropriating the amount for fiscal year 2023. Ordinance 2022-175, authorizing approving an agreement by and between the City of Pasadena, Texas, and HR Green Incorporated for professional services for water system model update for a total appropriation of $75,000. Ordinance 2022-176, authorizing approving an agreement by and between the City of Pasadena, Texas, and HR Green Incorporated for design services for the Golden Acres Wastewater Treatment Plant Influent Line Project CIP WW087 for a total appropriation of $83,860 to be funded from the 2008 Water Sewer Revenue Bond and the 2017 Certificate of Obligation Fund Balance Account. Ordinance 2022-177, authorizing approving construction manager at risk contract by and between the City of Pasadena, Texas, and Christensen Building Group, LLC, for pre-construction services of the new Pasadena Police Annex CIP number P010 in the amount of $12,000 from the general CIP fund balance account. Ordinance 2022-178, an ordinance disannexing and discontinuing certain land from the limits and boundaries and as part and parcel of this City of Pasadena, Texas, as authorized by the laws of the state of Texas, establishing and designating said disannexation, part of the area located in the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the City of Pasadena, as industrial district as authorized by VTCA Local Government Code Section 42.044, as amended formally Article 970A, Section 5, Vernon's Annotated Texas Civil Statutes, to be known as a portion of the Bayport Industrial District. Ordinance 2022-179, an ordinance authorizing approving a contract for the purchase of two 2023 John Deere 5055E four-wheel drive utility tractors from John Deere Company by the City of Pasadena, Texas through buy board contract number 61120.
Motion Ibarra. Second Harrison. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Madam Secretary, brings us down to resolutions. And don't forget, F and G is deferred.
Yes, sir. Resolution 2022-170, accepting an in-kind donation from the Pasadena Livestock Show and Rodeo of an electronic gate operating system, including installation for pre-existing manual gate number 2 at the Pasadena Municipal Grounds, second entry off Red Bluff, valued at $8,000 in connection with the Pasadena Convention Center. Resolution 2022-171, accepting an in-kind donation of prizes for Lotteria event valued at $40 from JWB Insurance Group for use by the Parks and Recreation Department in connection with the Madison Job Senior Center. Resolution 2022-172, a resolution updating the established utility allowance schedule for the Housing Choice Voucher Program in accordance with HUD 24 CFR 982.517, effective November 1st, 2022. Resolution 2022-173, accepting various in-kind donations for a total of $2,410.04 from various industry and business partners for use by the Neighborhood Network in connection with Team Up to Clean Up program that was held on Saturday, September 10th, 2022. Resolution 2022-174, accepting award for the Pasadena Public Library from the State Texas Library and Archival Interlibrary Loan Lending Reimbursement Program in the combined amount of $2,726.55. Resolution 2022-175, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Pasadena on behalf of the Pasadena Police Department to accept a grant extension from the State of Texas, Texas Motor Vehicle Prevention Authority in the amount of $83,940. Resolution 2022-176, a resolution accepting in-kind donations of materials and services to the city of Pasadena at the gun range located at 6060 Genoa Red Bluff from Four Horn Properties LTD for use by the Pasadena Police Department in connection with the Police Academy.
Motion by Harrison, second by Van Hout. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you, everybody, for coming out. God bless. This meeting's over.